Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we have a special guest. This is someone that I've been looking to bring on for quite some time. If you all saw my video with Kelly Starr, maybe back in the summertime, she mentioned this lady here, and we are very happy to have her. Her name is Barbara Frank, and we're going to be talking about several different things, including but not limited to parasites. So we're very, very excited to have this conversation, and we look forward to sharing some new things with you all. So stay tuned. We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
You start getting healthy and you just become a better person.
We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right, Ms. Barbara, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And when Kelly, I know you know who Kelly is, right? You guys
Yes.
communicate, right? She's
Yeah.
amazing. Love Kelly, right?
Yeah.
She's been with our community for probably like 3 or 4 years now. And when we did our interview, she talked about you quite a bit, and I was like, "Who is this lady that you keep talking about?" Because one of the things that was very interesting to me is she was talking about your hair and how long your hair was, and how you've been able to keep it healthy throughout all these years and everything. A lot of people are struggling with that, and she was mentioning how you were kind of breaking down what happens to people's hair and what causes people to have trouble with hair. So I guess to get this started off, would you like to kind of talk about like hair and what causes hair to kind of break down?
Well, I think your general health is going to have something to do with your hair breaking down, but also we're getting bombarded with all kinds of impurities, parasites from our environment, our food. Walking barefoot, you're going to get a lot of parasites, things like that. So, but I think your diet is very important for your hair to be healthy and full, as well as how you take care of it. I mean, many people are using harsh chemicals on their hair, which is going to strip it. There are many, many factors.
Mm,
So, but I have products that really help the hair to grow. One of the main things that causes hair to fall out is Demodex mites. So, a lot of fur-bearing animals are going to give you that. So, you need to just kill them, and then you'll see your hair coming back fully and better than ever before.
Demodex mites.
Yes.
Now, what exactly are Demodex mites?
Demodex mites, another word for them is lardworm. It's a tiny little mite that is all over you, not just in your hair, but it's mostly concentrated in the scalp because it likes to eat the hair follicle. So,
Mm,
in order to get your hair back, you have to really detox your entire body. And I have herbal lotion for that. This is my product that, you know, really makes my hair grow. I don't know. Can you see this?
yep, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah. So I just brought a bottle just to show people. And so that really kills the Demodex mites as well as lots of other, parasites that you pick up and they're in the air. So it's to your advantage to just keep fighting them every day by using these products.
Okay, so basically, this is something that's going to accumulate just over time. Just they're in the air, they're on pets. You have to pretty much have a regimen that is constantly treating these mites. You don't want them to collect or be able to
Right.
sit for too long.
Right. So I have a 5 minute a day protocol that I use that I give people who come to me. It's
Mhm.
all natural and organic ingredients. So it's very easy to do. You just apply the products to your body and then they do the work for you.
Okay,
You
gotcha.
also get nourishment from the products.
Now, you I think that's the one you sent me, right? I've got it here. The herbal lotion. Is that the one?
Yes. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, because I let you know, like one of the reasons I was so interested in the products is because I had a thin spot right at the crown of my head. I actually had two, one above my temple on both sides, and then at my crown. The ones above my temple, when I changed my diet, those started to grow back in pretty well. But the
Yeah.
one in my crown, it did get better, but it was still kind of thin.
Mhm.
And so I did start using the lotion as well as the beautifying cream that you sent me, this rose
Yes.
beautifying cream.
Yes.
Yeah. And my friend, because it's hard for me to monitor this part of my scalp, but my friend did let me know that she felt like it was the hair was starting to come in a little thicker. So that was good that we saw that improvement. The
Yes.
other the other product I really liked that you had was the lymph cleanse, which is like that blue liquid. Because I was telling you earlier, I stopped using soap a long time ago, like long time, like years ago, and I didn't feel comfortable because everything was so harsh. Like you mentioned, the beauty products are so harsh. So I started using it, and I gotta say, I was amazed at how it made my skin feel, how it smelled. Like I could tell that it was nourishing my skin versus just stripping it. So
Yes.
I really, really like that one.
Good. I'm glad you did like it. So most soaps on the market are going to disrupt hormones. So I put together surfactants that are organic, that don't disrupt your hormones. So I had to do that because I couldn't find anything that wasn't like Castile soaps are going to take too much oil out.
Mm.
That's about the only one that would be safer, and it's a little too harsh.
Hmm.
So what I'm using is totally organic, natural, not disrupting hormones.
And you use essential oils in your products, right?
Yes,
Okay, that's
I've
right.
taken a lot of essential oil classes. So, to make sure I'm not harming anyone and to make sure I know, the good and bad ones.
Right.
So, and you can combine them to get certain effects. So I've studied about how to do that.
That's excellent. Now, are you do you have any certifications or any degrees or anything in health and wellness?
I have taken many, many aromatherapy classes that give you a certification after you complete it.
Hmm.
Probably 30, maybe more. I'm an internationally certified lymphologist.
Okay.
My mother, grandmother, and grandfather practiced folk medicine. So when I was growing up, people would come to our house and they would be sick, and they would treat them for parasites, and they would come back and they would be well. So I learned at an early age that parasites are behind diseases, hair loss, overweight, wrinkles, freckles, moles,
Mm,
big stomachs. That's all parasites.
interesting. What exactly is folk medicine?
Folk medicine uses food and natural herbs to heal the body.
Okay. So that's very close. I mean, that's probably essentially what I teach, right? Just using,
Yes, I think
yeah.
you're doing same. Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
and like Jesus practiced folk medicine.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're essentially saying that parasites have the ability to affect us. Do they also play a role in like cancer, or is that something different? Like, what do you think?
Parasites cause cancer. Otherwise, I would not be able to get rid of it in so many people.
Okay, so
So
you use your supplements and techniques for healing cancer. How big of a role does the person's lymphatic system play when it comes to like reversing cancer or just disease in the body?
the first thing I do is clean out the lymphatic system. So all of my products clean the lymph system because that's how a lot of parasites overwhelm the body. So that's the first thing I do.
Mm.
And then if there's a problem, I zero in on that problem. But usually cleaning the lymph system really makes a huge difference. People feel a lot better. They see a lot of impurities coming out of them. And, it's amazing how they recover.
Can you kind of explain what exactly is the lymph system?
The lymphatic system is throughout your body. I have a chart of it. You can go online and see for best results. And it's composed of the spleen, the thymus, and basically, we need to clean it out.
Now, from what I understand, the lymphatic system isn't like the blood, right? It doesn't, there's no
Yeah,
pump or anything. It doesn't move.
yeah,
So you
right,
you have to do a little movement, or if you're too stagnated, it doesn't like to move. Is that right?
right. That's why massage is so important because it cleanses the lymph system. So I recommend massage to everyone. As a matter of fact, Jesus went from town to town, teaching people how to use something very similar to the rose cream to uh, what did they call it? Anoint the body with oils.
Right.
Actually, they were massaging themselves and massaging each other.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes.
My brother is a massage therapist,
Oh,
and I can't speak enough, right? Like,
mhm,
I was playing with some weights one day. I was literally like swinging weights around for fun, just being
mhm,
stupid, and I
mhm.
tweaked my back really bad.
Oh,
And my brother had just got his table. He was really excited, so he's like, "Hey man, lay down. I'll fix you up." And I was kind of skeptical. I'm just like, "Okay, I
mhm.
mean, hopefully he could do it, but I don't know." In 15 minutes,
He can do it.
the
He can
pain was
do it.
gone.
Yeah, you
And
pull the muscle. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's so fascinating because if you sleep wrong, or if you tweak yourself, or if you just, your shoes are misaligned or whatever, it throws your whole body off. And he was able to just reshape. My hips were all askew. He was able to get me all lined up, and the pain was gone for like
Right.
good.
Forever. That's right.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, I've been doing lymphatic massages for 20 something years, and people would come in, they would be in such bad shape and leave feeling great.
okay. So basically, it's a specialized massage you do, and you use the products with it to help.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And so what exactly are the products doing? Because you've mentioned the parasites, and I know about the ones in your hair. You've talked to me before about how you use the products, and you'll actually see the parasites come out. Like, how do they
Very
look? Come.
tiny. Very tiny little things should be coming out of you. They look like nothing really, a little piece of, phlegm there. Or a lot of times they feel like little pieces of salt or sand coming out of your skin.
Mm,
Sometimes you might see little white worms coming out. They're very, very small though. Not generally noticeable to other people that you're around.
gotcha. Yeah, I want to say that Kelly had mentioned using your cleanse, and I think she said that she felt like she could feel her skin crawling a little bit. Is that
That's probably them dying. Yeah, probably what she felt.
okay? How important is it? Because like obviously you're talking about one way to get rid of parasites, but there's all these different ways to get rid of parasites in the body. How
Right.
important is it to go about it the right way? Like, is there a wrong way to get rid of parasites?
I've seen people taking herbs that are toxic for too long, like taking black walnut and wormwood for, you can't take those herbs for more than 10 days. But many of the parasite treatments on the market tell you to take them indefinitely.
Mm,
When you do that, you're going to harm your thyroid,
mm.
and wormwood can kill you. It's a great anti-parasite. However, uh, it can harm you. So I think people need to have guidance when they're doing this. Someone who really knows what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, that's it's interesting because when I very first started my wellness journey and I was learning all
Mhm,
this,
mhm.
I learned how parasites have the ability to really manipulate us.
Yes,
Um, they can cause you to want different food.
right. The sugar, the mold, right. It makes you crave sugar. You can't resist it. It
Mm,
really controls you. They really take over your body. So, and when you kill them, you'll realize, that's why you couldn't resist the sugar. You had to have it because the mold was controlling you. The moles can't live without sugar.
okay. Now, when you say sugar, are you specifically talking about like granulated white sugar, processed sugar? Or are you talking about fruit
Um,
sugar as well?
I'm talking about carbs, which turn to sugar in the body, rice,
Okay.
um, you know, things like quinoa, oats turn to sugar in the body. So, you may not realize that you're having sugar craving or some of the carbs that turn to sugar, but
Mm.
you're really being controlled by these parasites that need the sugar.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you this. You mentioned that your mother and your grandmother started with the folk medicine that they kind of showed.
Uh, yeah, I think it's been in my family for a very long time, generation after generation, because my great grandmother also, they all knew about herbs and they all, practiced folk medicine.
Okay. So did you feel inclined to do it? Did you feel like this was something that you had to do? What made you decide that you wanted to help other people? Is that how you kind of
Um,
started or
Well, when I had my first child, she was very sickly, so I would turn to my mother and ask my mother, "Mom, what do I need to do?" And my mother guided me, and then the people I was working with at the time, I was a reporter, they saw, the improvement in my child, and they started wanting to do what I was doing with her, which was using my mom's products. And so I started making them, and one thing led to another. I put an ad in the paper that I did lymphatic massage, um, and that's how I grew.
Interesting. Yeah, for me it was wanting to heal my own personal issues, so kind of similar, right?
Yes,
Having that inspiration because of someone close or maybe yourself. And oftentimes I feel like people who have issues or dealing with issues kind of make the
mm,
best teachers of this because it's very personal for them versus someone
yes,
who, hasn't really experienced it.
yes, that's true. But everyone is experiencing some kind of health challenge, I think, especially in this age of so much pollution that we're dealing with, the chemtrails, I mean, contaminated water, contaminated food. Do you know that more people die from contaminated food than anything?
I didn't know that, but I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah. And the next is doctor's mistakes. So, it's very important to clean the raw foods correctly. And I tell people how to do that. Basically, you want to make sure that, I don't touch anything that's really dirty. And with 1 quart of water, if you put a half of a cup of baking soda and half of a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide and immerse it in there, it's going to kill all the parasites. The parasites will start bubbling up. It'll start just zapping them.
Mm,
So when you put your like lettuce in there, you'll see like a layer of bubbles that come up. Those
mm.
are those are zapped parasites.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the parasites does that also like clean the wax and stuff off and the pesticides, or is there something else or different you need to do for that?
I try not to buy anything that has wax on it because that means it's been preserved. You don't know how old it is. Um, I don't recommend that people buy things that have wax on it.
Yeah. So it's interesting because all right, for you, it was probably a transition, right? From like organic foods, like everything was organic when you were probably a child. And
Yeah.
then, all of a sudden they started doing like this organic and non-organic or this conventional thing. But for me, like I was so young when this kind of the transition happened. I
Mm-hmm.
remember a time when there wasn't organic, right? Everything was the same,
Mm-hmm.
but certain things still went under my radar. Like I didn't realize that apples had wax on them. That was something I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, listen, I know it's gonna sound silly, but I just thought apples naturally produced a waxy
Oh
coating.
my
You
goodness!
know,
Wow. Mm-hmm.
so the education is super important. I was talking to another guest a few months ago, and he was telling his children. He works with children. He does puppeteering,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling them that like the hamburgers and stuff come from cows, and they didn't know that.
Oh my goodness!
They didn't know that meat came from
That's
animals.
that's amazing.
They- and they had never seen fresh vegetables. Everything that they have ever eaten came from a can.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, there's a major barrier in
Oh,
between,
wow.
the education. And I feel like one of the things we need to do is get back to like gardening and you
Yes.
know what I mean, growing our own food.
Go out gardening with gloves. Yeah.
Did you so did your family do any like did they grow any herbs or fruits or anything like that?
We had huge, massive gardens. We grew all of our food, and they used lime to kill parasites in the soil. They didn't use pesticides
Lime.
and kelp, things like that, to make the plants stronger.
Hmm.
But lime would, stop parasites from being in the eating your food up.
And you're talking about like ground up limestone or what
It was a white powder. They would put it, if there was a problem with the crop, they would just put lime there, and then the whatever was attacking it would go away.
Gotcha. I think I know what you're talking about. I
Mhm.
remember it from like movies. Whenever you're dealing with a dead body, you sprinkle lime on it or whatever, and it like keeps the
Mhm.
smell down or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
I wanted to share something about parasites if I could,
Yeah,
because I
sure.
think it's very important. So I'm going to read it. This is from Hannah Kroger's book, and it's called, here's what she says. What you have to know about parasites. Once worms or parasites are established in the body, these invaders do four things. Worms can cause physical trauma to the body by the perforation of the intestines, the circulatory system, the lung, the liver, and so on. When chyme is released into the perforated intestines, it oozes into the lymph system. Allergies are the first reaction. In other words, worms can make Swiss cheese out of your organs. Chyme is a mixture prepared in the duodenum, so the intestine can absorb it. Worms can also erode, damage, or block certain organs. They can lump together and make a ball, a tumor, so to speak. They can go into the brain, heart, lungs, and make untold misery for the host. Parasites have to eat, so they rob us of our nutrients. They like to take the best of our vitamins and amino acids and leave the rest to us. Many people become anemic. Drowsiness after meals is another sign that worms are present in the body. The last and most important thing these scavengers cause damage is by poisoning us with their toxic waste. Each worm gives off certain metabolic waste products that our already weakened bodies have trouble disposing of. The poisoning of the host with the parasite's waste is a condition called vermininous intoxication. It can be very serious for the sufferer, and it is difficult to diagnose. An infected individual may feel bloated, tired or hungry, and also have allergies, gas, unclear thinking, and generally may feel toxic. Certain parasites have the ability to fool the body of the host into thinking that the worm is a normal part of the body. Therefore, the body will not fight the intruder. The
Mm,
host now works twice as hard to remove both its own waste and that of the parasite. I'm almost done, but I think this is really important. Parasites can be present in any disease. Most doctors will not necessarily treat every infection unless the infection is heavy and the host is showing serious signs of disease. From this standpoint, it may be justifiably so because many of the drugs that are used to treat an infection are very strong. They work on the premise of differential toxicity. This means that the drug is hopefully more toxic to the parasite than it would be to the host.
mm.
Sometimes this margin is slim. Most people with parasitic infections are also usually undernourished, weak, full of either viral, fungal, or bacterial infections, and have various types of chemical and metal poisoning. So, anyway, what I do is I get rid of all of that, the heavy metals, because parasites will stick to the heavy metals. Chemicals, I get rid of that, and people recover.
Now that's very interesting. You say you can get rid of heavy metals. I know that heavy metals cause us so much damage. That's
Yes,
something I've recently been learning about how damaging they are.
yes.
Like what methods do you use to get rid of the heavy metals?
I chelate them out of the body. The easiest and safest way is with colloidal silver. So I have a perfect one that will not turn you gray. They put out these propaganda videos that, if you drink it, you'll turn gray, but that's not true. If it's made correctly, you will not.
Mm,
I'm using it massively right now to with this virus that we're going through, and people are recovering amazingly fast. So I recommend that if you get a sneeze or if any first sign of any cough or cold, that you take colloidal silver because it will knock it out very, very fast. And people need to know that.
so the silver, what does the silver do? Does it bind to the
It,
heavy
it
metals and
does.
then
It does, and leads them out of the body. It also kills parasites, and it's one of the easiest way to chelate the brain to get heavy metals out. Like many people, when they were 6 years old, they got all these vaccines that put mercury and aluminum in their brain at that time, and it
Mhm.
stays there. I mean, and as you get older, it's causing major damage. So that's an easy way to take it out, and it's safe.
Hmm. I haven't heard about that. I think you sent me some colloidal silver. I gotta check. Yeah, that the chelation. So one of the things that I was learning was obviously through the vaccines, we do get those mercury, which is thimerosal. It
Yes.
was the ingredient that was being used at the time. I don't know if they're still using it, but it really also increased the rate of autism in children.
Right. They're
You know,
saying that's not true, but I've seen it. So that's a lie.
right. So you mentioned the virus. What are your thoughts about the virus? Do you feel like that they're not really talking about solutions as much as they're talking about the problem? Because I mean, it seems
Right.
like you have a pretty simple solution to.
It's a very simple and easy thing to get rid of. I've every time I go out, I mean, the virus is circulating in buildings. Until people clean the building, it's going to be with us. Okay, there's a very simple way. I'm going to make a video on how to clean the building because people don't get it. I mean, you don't just wipe down the tables, wipe down the door handles. It's something that circulates in the air and it can circulate in the air for days. So with all the people in and out, they need to clean the building. A simple way to do that is to ozone blast the building.
Mm,
That's going to kill everything in there. That's going to kill all. No, nothing will be circulating in the air. I mean, if people are going in there every day, then every day after they're gone, ozone blast the building, and that will get rid of it. So I think everyone needs to know that also.
now ozone is what? Is that H3O or
Oh,
something?
O3.
O3.
Mhm.
That's actually something that I learned about a little while ago. And dentists, there's like holistic dentists, I think they use that as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
didn't you? I think you mentioned to me that you have a partner that's into dentistry. Is that right?
She's a tooth expert.
A tooth
She's
expert.
a psychologist who is a certified beauty blogger. Also, she's a beauty blogger, but she's a certified beauty. She has all these certifications in health and beauty. And because of her, she saved a lot of my teeth and the people I refer to her. That's Daria Long. Maybe you could have her on. She's very knowledgeable as well.
Yeah, I'm very interested to learn about the teeth because I feel like there's like three or four areas of the body that kind of are really hard for me to grasp. The eyes, the teeth, and the hair are certainly areas that I need to still learn a lot more about.
Mm. Your
Um,
your eyes have an amazing ability to repair themselves, so that's a good thing. But
right.
you have to give them some help, especially with all the microparticles that are in the air right now. I mean, you ever notice that sometimes when you go out or you go in a building, your eyes feel like they're under attack?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the microparticles. All the construction is putting so many, and
Mm.
all the industrial things we're making and producing products, putting microparticles into the air, which is murder for our eyes.
Yeah, that makes sense. We can never see how much stuff is in the air. There's so much crap in the
Yeah,
air.
yes,
Our bodies recognize it, but we're just
yeah.
so dull. On that same topic of the eyes, like sometimes I get floaties in the
Mhm.
eyes, and I always wondered. I've heard that those are like like protein or whatever floating around. Does that have anything to do with parasites or anything like that?
More than likely, it's the microparticles that are settled on your eyes, or it could be germs and bacteria, even viruses. The COVID has passed through the eyes as well. So, you know, your eyes will cause that particle to go to the corner. So, if you allow it to go to the corner, and then you just take like a clean napkin and just tap, it will it will collect it out of your eye.
Okay.
So, or you could just wash your face, and that would also clean that out of your eye.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wonder if that's like where the eye mucus and stuff comes from, right? As a response to all the particles. Cause like I noticed that before I started my health journey, I would wake up with like crust in my eyes all the time.
Mhm.
And now it doesn't do that as much.
Yeah, I think that's the way that the body's telling you how toxic you are.
Right.
So as you're detoxing, you said now it's not doing that so much.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. How long would it take? Let's say I'm dealing with worms.
Hmm.
How long does it take to get rid of worms? Like, is it, months, years? Is it, can you never really get rid of them? Like,
So I don't think you should think about it that way. I think you should think about it as this is something that started growing in my body the moment the doctor touched me with his bare hands, and that you need to just fight them with all the power that you have. 5 minutes a day of fighting them is, really what all that you need to do. Um, and not worry about how long it's going to take to get rid of them. Just, do it as a daily regimen, because they're always going to be in our environment. You're always going to be around people who have, them, who are getting them from their fur bearing animals. So I mean, you need to just be prudent and just, clean your body of them.
gotcha. So that's actually kind of the same approach that I have when it comes to disease of the body. It's not really about avoiding everything, and you
Yes.
know, it's just really focus on you, focus on your health. Do the right things on a daily basis
Right.
and be consistent.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
that's good.
I think hygiene is very, very important. So, bathing regularly, cleaning your raw foods properly, cleaning your bed once you start this protocol. Your pillow needs to go in the dryer. And once you get your basic setup clean and you keep your body clean, you're going to have a lot of success being healthier and feeling better.
Is there anything special that you recommend for like cleaning linen?
If you wash them in scalding hot water with baking soda, and a good soap, 20 mule team borax is supposed to kill parasites.
Mm,
Um, Putting them through the dryer, that's the heat is going to kill everything.
okay,
So I recommend that people spray their mattress with the herbal lotion. I have a spray that is a antimicrobial, um, and it will clean the mattress.
gotcha. Yeah, that's the heat. That makes sense. I actually, just so for me, I learned that the health and beauty products were terrible, right? You mentioned
Yes,
that earlier.
terrible. Yes.
So I stopped using them a long time ago. So I started using baking soda and I use vinegar in my water.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll use hydrogen peroxide, food grade hydrogen peroxide as well,
Hmm.
like to brighten it or whatever. I found that to be pretty good for brightening.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. But you need soap. You need to slough off the dead skin that's coming off of you. So you need to gently scrub your skin too.
Oh, well, my skin or the clothes?
Your skin and the clothes need to be washed with soap too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't use any soap on my on my linen. I just use the baking soda and the vinegar.
Well, I think you need soap and
And
to rinse it really well. Yeah.
so the lymph cleanse stuff. You because we've talked a couple times. You said that is not soap. I can't use that.
It's a surfactant. It's a coconut surfactant, but I mean, you don't you want to use that just on your body.
Oh, okay.
But I recommend to people the 20 mule team borax. It's
Oh, okay.
natural. It's more natural.
Gotcha. Okay.
You want them to smell fresh.
Oh, my clothes smell fresh.
They do. Well,
You'd be
good.
surprised. The baking soda and the vinegar it gets them clean. I have
But that's expensive.
I go to Costco and
Hmm.
you get the big tubs of it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've been using that for nearly 2 years now.
How much vinegar do you use in a loaded washlet?
I usually use maybe like a quarter of a cup, if that.
Oh,
I don't
really?
really.
That's all?
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't seem to need that much.
And how much baking soda?
I probably use about maybe 3/4 or almost depends on the size of the load, but at least 3/4 cup. Yeah.
I'm gonna try that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds good.
The more soiled it is, or the more clothes you have, I'll use more, right?
Uh,
I'll use more, but And then what I do, because I have one of the side load dryer washers.
Mm.
So what I'll do is I'll sprinkle the baking soda in there, and then I'll splash a little bit of vinegar and activate it. But then I'll put the vinegar in the liquid liquid
The
softener
dispenser?
dispenser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that seems to work well. And then I use a wool ball, like a
Oh,
little
yeah.
ball of wool in
Yeah.
my dryer.
Hmm.
So I don't use the dryer sheets because I heard those dryer sheets are very, very toxic too.
Yeah, they have chemicals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's excellent. I think this has been extremely informative. I wanted to make sure that you were able to kind of flesh out all your thoughts. And was there anything else that you want? I know you mentioned the food, cleaning the food properly, doing the massages with like maybe the lymph, or the rose cream, that sort of thing. Is I guess what we could
Yes.
do is we could have our massage therapist, use that cream on our body when we do, or is a specific type of massage that you have to do, I'm assuming?
Any massage is going to be helpful
Okay.
to you. So I do dilute it. I get massages and I dilute it, and just put it in a container and then have them massage me with it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's great.
Yes. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention to us?
I can't think of anything else.
All right. So how can people like contact you? Like what avenues do they have to contact you?
Well, my phone number is 301-222-7937. My website is barbarafrank222.com. I have a blog, dlshealthandbeauty.com. So those are ways they can contact me if they're interested in those.
Okay. Good. Yeah, and you mentioned that you tried my sun water technique and put it on your blog, and
Love
I
it.
was enjoying
Yes.
it.
Love it. Yeah, people have been contacting me saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm loving this. Thank you for putting it up."
I am so spoiled by that because like now, if I go out of town or something like that, I can't. I usually don't have the equipment to make it and do what I do here at the house. So, I can't wait to get back home and drink it. It's pretty much all I drink now, and everything else kind of tastes. My sister-in-law said, "Chris, you have ruined the water for me because she can't drink any other kind of water now because she's so spoiled by the sun water."
It's beautiful. I
It
love
is.
it. Yes.
Well,
So
that's excellent.
yeah, I'll be sending that information. I put it on Facebook and I got a lot of response, but I'm going to also send that because I think everyone that I'm dealing with needs to know that. So I'll be sending it out in my health updates with this video.
Okay, excellent. Well, I've it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Been a pleasure talking to you.
I'm very grateful for the information you gave us, especially about the hair. That's something I personally was very interested in, and like I said, I have seen some improvement. So I'm just going to keep at it with
Have to keep at it.
the
Yes.
lotion and everything. And oh, and you did mention to me earlier. I don't think we talked about it on camera, but if you use oil in your hair or
Yes.
anything like that, you have to be a little bit more persistent with it. It takes a little extra time to penetrate. So
Right, because the oil would just build up,
yeah.
and it causes it's harder for the herbal lotion to penetrate through there.
And I do. I use lotion. I use oil for my hair, so that's something I got to look out for.
Well, you don't really need it. Once your hair is restored, it'll be naturally lubricated.
Right, right. And that right there, that's what I'm all about because I
Mhm.
feel like we use a lot of products to support our body, but then eventually our body should get to a place where it is self-sustaining, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But I know that the environment and like you said, the foods, everything plays a role. So it's kind of
Yes.
hard getting it to that point sometimes.
Yes, right. Plus, many people have been using harsh chemicals on their scalp and hair for years, so it really strips it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to reach back out and maybe we can have your partner come on and talk about teeth and dental health and all those sorts of things because I'm very interested in that. But it's been a pleasure, and I'm going to put all
And
of your
my pleasure.
information. Yeah, I'm gonna put all your information in the description box for the audience so they can check you out and
Okay.
and check out some of the products.
Okay. It's nice being here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I'll see you all next time.